5-second board is shown to the drivers. The race about to get underway. It's 15 minutes of racing for the Massimo Tyres 5 Club MX5 Cup. Lights go out and we are off and running for the final time this weekend in the 5 Club Racing MX5 Cup. Down they go towards the first corner. It's a good start from the outside of the front row by a BS Motorsport car, but not Ben Short this time. It's his father Matt, although he is now dropping back down the order a little bit. I think also as well, one or two of the drivers going backwards a little bit, but I think it was Martin Vernon that was holding on to the race lead as they went through Clairvaux corner for the first time, and the two of them making a break. The other one was that possibly Stephen Craggs in the number 47 car that was trying to go with him as well. There's Jordan Johnson in the grey car, the number 1, the reigning champion from last year. A little bit further down the order, his dad Adrian Johnson has gone wide and missed the chicane there. They're all heading safely down towards Tower corner though. The two leaders are side by side. Ben Shaw, as you can see, is making some ground up already. It looks like it's Stephen Craggs now that's got the lead away from Martin Vernon as they head through Tower Bend for the first time of asking. It's probably going to be a 9-lap race that we're going to squeeze out of these 15 minutes, barring safety cars.
Crucially, Ben Shaw already getting ahead of one of his nearest rivals, Jordan Johnson, and I think they were probably planning to a little pincer manoeuvre with Jordan and Ian to try and keep Ben Shaw at bay, but not quite able to do so. So we have front two were pulling a bit of a gap, weren't they, to the rest of the field. We've got battles happening a little bit further down as they're heading through the complex for the first time, and it's all getting a little bit squirrely through there, but it is the 47 still leaving of Stephen Craggs. And then 32 up on the inside there, that's Jake Micklewright trying to get fourth place away. You can see Ben Short right there in the white number 71 machine looking to find a way through. And they are side by side in front of him. Jordan Johnson just behind them, but Micklewright on the outside line. Right, loses out because Ben Shaw is going to come up the inside of him and Ian Tomlinson.
Yeah, and so Ben Shaw into 4th place now into Clairvaux corner that time. You've got Jordan Johnson in the 1 car. He's just trying to get through as well. He's still behind Tomlinson. Oh, and all over the chicane there was Jake Micklewright in the number 32 car. So he straight lined the chicane, but it's still Stephen Craggs that leads, the Riponian electrical store owner. He's having a highly charged race here. We've got Vernon in second, but now Ben Short up to 3rd because he's cleared Matt Hallam now. The former Casacombe Formula Ford 1600 racer is down to 4th position, and Ben Short has just got 2 more drivers in his sights now. Do you reckon he could even get the lead by the end of the lap, Chris?
Well, he's trying to take 2nd place already because he was looking very fast through the Jim Clark S's on the inside here at Croft on Martin Vernon, our reverse grid pole sitter, and the 44 Matt Hallam pounces as well at the inside of Sonny Inn. Ian Tomlinson thought about doing the same as well in the red number 9 machine, but he settles for pushing Vernon out of the exit of the corner. Jordan Johnson, the grey number 1 machine, right in the wings as well. You could be right about Ben Short taking the lead at the end of this lap because he's right on the back of Craggs. Oh, contact though. Ian Tomlinson locking up and getting into the side of Matt Hallam in the middle of the complex. He's been turned around and got to wait for a gap in the traffic to pull through.
Yeah, so he's going to have lost nearly all of the places in the field there.
And Ben Short has taken the lead by the end of the lap. Absolutely right. Well, we were looking at the spin. Ben Short, I can only imagine he was getting up the inside of the hairpin.
Yeah, and he's already 3/4 of a second ahead of Stephen Craggs by the end of lap 2 of the race. So it's Ben Short leading, Stephen Craggs 2nd, Jordan Johnson 3rd, Jake Micklewright is 4th, although he did, of course, straight line the chicane a lap ago. Matthew Short is 5th, Martin Vernon is 6th, Matt Pennefather-Neal 7th, Ian Tomlinson 8th. So he's not really made the progress that Jordan Johnson has there. After his contact with Matt Hallam, 9th Michael Pearson, 10th Sam Gorman.
The 21 there of Matthew Pennefather-Neal cutting the chicane. Not the first one we've seen, probably won't be the last. Ian Tomlinson here looking to make up some ground after that bit of contact, looking up the inside of Pennefather-Neal into Tower Bend, but not able to actually make a move there. That would have been for 7th position. So he has to follow him through the Jim Clark S's once again. And yeah, as you say, Ian Tomlinson not quite making the same forward progress and getting into a few scraps as well, unlike Jordan Johnson and Ben Short, who the 3 of them have shared the podium for the first 2 races so far this weekend. That is the 25 getting up the insides. David Williams there on is that it's James Winstanley, isn't it? Yes, in
Yeah.
the Triple One car. So that would have been for 11th or 12th.
And now you've got the two grey cars together here for second and third, because Jordan Johnson has closed in on Stephen Craig. He was 1.8 seconds behind at the start of the lap. It's about 1.8 car lengths between them now as they come out of the hairpin, and Jordan Johnson gets about a drive out of the corner, and I think by the time they get to Clervaux, although he's going to be on the outside line, I think he'll be through into second position, but he's already 3.3 seconds behind Ben Short. He lost another sort of 2.6 seconds on that last lap, I think, something like that. So phenomenal effort there from Ben Short to sort of build that lead quite quickly now as we're at the end of lap 3.
Yeah, great stuff. So Jordan Johnson back up into second position. Stephen Craig still holding on to third for now. We've just got Jake Micklewright not too far behind there as well. We're saying that Johnson and Craig are separated by only 22 thousandths at the timing line. Now this looks like Ian Tomlinson looking to get back up the field. He's got a move here on the inside of Martin Vernon, our reverse grid pole sitter. So Tomlinson starting to gather a little bit of momentum now and is into 6th position. Next car up the road is Matthew Short, BS Motorsport prepared car. And so it'll be a few car lengths he has to catch up first though, but Tomlinson recovering some ground.
Yep, certainly is. Back to 7th place now. And it's usually the case that the order does settle down after a few laps of these partly reverse grid races, after the initial skirmishes where it gets a little bit heated at times. A few incidents. We saw that contact between Tomlinson and Halleman there. It's Matthew Short that's locking up there. That allows Tomlinson an easy passage through up another place.
Not quite
that,
so easy.
Short does fight back, doesn't he? I think Tomlinson will get this sealed at the hairpin, probably. Yeah, he does now, I think.
Oh.
And now Short, he spins, and Vernon has to take evasive action. Almost ended up going down the pit lane, didn't he, Martin Vernon? As Matthew Short was broadside across the track. That's cost him a few places. He's gone down to 8th position now as Short. As Ben Short continues to lead, he's done another best lap of the race, 1:40.529.
That was wonderful evasive driving from Martin Vernon. There would have been so easy for him to collect Matthew Short as he was sideways across the racetrack and the exit of the hairpin. But yeah, both cars survived to live another day. Short's cost him a little bit of momentum, but yeah, Matthew Short, rather than crashing out of the race, he's survived in about 9th place, isn't he?
That's right. And he's just ahead there of the number 70 car of Michael Pearce, father of Shay Pearce, also racing here today. A few sort of family combinations in action. Mary Barnard and Paul Barnard, you can see. Daughter and father are 19th and 20th respectively, although there's about 5-6 seconds or so between them. It's the first time that they've raced together, although both have a little bit of racing experience under their belts. We're watching here that battle, though, that's still headed by Vernon in 6th place, 7th Pearce, 8th Matthew Short. The 3 cars together, the green Pearce car sandwiched between those 2 mainly white machines that are headed down towards the complex once more. There's Stephen Craggs, of course, he's still in 3rd place. He's doing pretty well here. And Jake Micklewright, number 32, still in 4th place.
The 25 there of Williams had a massive swapper in the middle of the complex, had to gather it up about 3 separate times. And that has cost him a little bit of ground. It was in 10th position at the start of the lap. He was trying to make forward progress. He has been able to move up to 9th, though, on that lap. But despite that moment, and actually it looks here like he's looking up the inside of Matthew Short to take 8th position. So not being discouraged by that big moment that he had in the middle of the complex.
Good fights going on down the field, as you can see there.
Oh, Matthew Short took it back.
He did,
on the inside of Hawthorne by the looks of it. So David Williams maybe going a little bit wide, and he needs to have another crack at it. But this is Stephen Craggs trying to keep his podium place ahead of Jake Micklewright, but a lock up into Tower Bend does him no favours at all, and Micklewright goes through. Ian Tomlinson in the red number 9 machine right on the back of this fight as well.
Well, he's right there, isn't he? He's made up ground to these two, and I think we're probably going to end up with the same podium yet again, aren't we, ultimately, with Ben Short and Jordan Johnson comfortably 1st and 2nd. I think Tomlinson probably will find his way past these two in the remaining sort of 5 minutes or so of this race. Jack Micklewright in the 32 car, Ian Tomlinson in the number 9 car. You can see the damage to Tomlinson's car on that right front wing after the contact with Matt Hallam on the second lap of the race. It's around this part of the circuit. Tomlinson getting his car up on the inside here of Stephen Craggs, who's shown some good pace during the course of this weekend, and in particular in the first part of this race. He finished yesterday in 5th position. He's in 4th place. It's 5th place again now, isn't he? Because Tomlinson has got through there. So as they complete lap 6, 3 laps to go for these competitors. Ben Short it is that leads by 3.4 seconds in car 71 from number 1 Jordan Johnson. Jake Micklewright in 3rd, but for how much longer?
Well, Tomlinson pulled the same move that gave him damage earlier on. So Stephen Craggs was very aware of it and left him an awful lot of room on that occasion. We are back here with the James Bond Stanley show in the red 111 machine. Clearly isn't happy with the number of social media clips we gave him yesterday.
I can't figure out how he's getting so much coverage.
So 13th position there for James, but obviously he's had a very good showing here in a wildcard MX5 Cup appearance.
Yeah, busy in 750 Motor Club race admin in between races as well, though. Squeezing some races in this weekend in the MX5s. 3-race format gives drivers some good track time for the money as well. And he's trying to make a move here through Jim Clark S's in the thick of a battle.
Surprised Oak Richardson isn't a bit further up the order. He's only in 11th position in the number 17 machine.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's made up 15 places, to be fair to him, but what kind of lap times is he doing? His best lap is in the 1:42s. Yesterday he was doing 1:41, so he's sort of second or so off the pace, but of course he has been around other cars more.
Yeah, no, that is fair. He did start 25th, didn't he? I'd forgotten about that. So battle for 3rd place still very much on here. Ian Tomlinson trying to go right round the outside of the hairpin. That didn't quite work for Matthew Short earlier on, but Tomlinson avoiding the error of dipping his wheels onto the grass, and actually might have the momentum from the exit of the hairpin and the inside line at Clairvaux for good measure. Although we've got a spinner further down at the rear of the field. It's the number 21 machine of Matthew Pennyfather Neil. But meanwhile, Tomlinson has found his way through on the inside of Clairvaux, and Stephen Craggs looking to get back up the inside of Micklewright as well. And Micklewright wasn't quite able to just turn into the chicane as he would have wanted, because Craggs was right up alongside him.
We've lost one driver during the course of this race. That's Neil Burrows, last year's Rookie of the Year. The drive from Chichester, unfortunately, out of the race after lap 4. We've got a lap and a bit left to go in this race now, which Ben Short still leads by actually a reduced margin, 1.7 seconds now between them. There's the 16 car on screen now, which is Shay Pearce, who is in 11th position. Andy Bailey, the other driver who's come through from the back of the grid, up to 12th. So he and Richardson have both made progress towards, if not into, in the case of Andy Bailey, the top 10 during the course of this race. But Andy will be hoping to make up one more place at least in the Mint Alloys car. He's the boss of that company. Just behind Andy is Samuel Gorman as well in the 128 car.
Yeah, Shay Pearce in a 4th season of car racing. Before that was a X30 Senior Club champion for 2 years running, and holding off Andy Bailey, who returned to Mark 1 MX5 racing at the end of last year.
We've got Ben Short onto his final lap of the race now. The gap between 1st and 2nd down to 0.8 of a second. We're watching Ian Tomlinson head over the line there. He's in 3rd place now, ahead of Micklewright and Craggs, but it looks like Jordan Johnson's been able to get onto the tail of Ben Short. There they are for this final lap of the race. Yeah,
Ben Short lost a second to Jordan Johnson on that previous lap. It was a 1:42.4 against Johnson's 1:41.4. So I wonder what happened to Ben Short on that last lap. Usually bucking and weaving a little bit there, but that's a bit more of just the flamboyant driving style of an MX5. I mean, for context, his fastest lap is a 40.5. So he was nearly 2 seconds off his best there on that previous lap, and has put Jordan Johnson closer to, not quite in striking distance, but closer to striking distance on this last lap.
Yeah, certainly there's a chance, isn't there? Meanwhile, Tomlinson just aching away a little bit from fourth and fifth place drivers as the leaders come out of Sunny for the final time. I think Ben Short probably has got this under control, as he usually does. Winner of multiple championships and millions, probably, of MX5 races over the years. Very talented driver and preparer of cars as well through the BS Motorsport concern. And he's pushing his way through the final corner now, just giving Jordan Johnson just the hint of an opportunity. He pushes on out to the final corner. He can't resist, can he, Ben Short? He's up to the line once again. He's going to get the checkered flag, and he wins round 3 of the Massimo Tyres 5 Club MX5 Cup by 0.6 of a second from Jordan Johnson. Ian Tomlinson is going to come across the line in third, just ahead of Jake McIntyre and Stephen Craggs.
And quite a squabble going on a bit further back, and a couple of cars having to kick up some dust on the exit of the last corner. But David Williams taking 6th position on the last lap there, ahead of Michael Pearce. Martin Vernon, our reverse grid pole sitter, across the line in 8th. Oak Richardson up from 25th to 9th position, the checkered flag, with Matthew Short completing the top 10.
Yeah, great race in the MX5. So it's just worth mentioning that the next round is only 2 weeks away. It's at Thruxton, another of the circuits operated by the BARC. And actually the admission to that race meeting is absolutely free. So if you're watching the live stream now and you want to see some 750 Motor Club racing up close, then head along to Thruxton for the next event in this particular championship on the 4th of May, where entry is free for spectators, so it's well worth coming along to.
And if for whatever reason you can't make it to the Thruxton meeting, that is going to be the first paddock show that we do on our social media channels, isn't it?
So, yeah, so rather than a full live stream of all the racing, there'll be insight and chat from the drivers throughout the course of the day on the various 750 Motor Club social media channels, which are easy enough to find on all of the leading platforms. So keep an eye out for that. There's another race meeting next week, by the way, for 750 Motor Club Brands Hatch. That is also going to be live streamed for your delectation, and Josh Barrett and Marcus Pye will be taking you through that one. But a very entertaining 3 races from the Massimo Tyres 5 Club MX5 Cup. There is the 21 car of Matt Pennefather Neal, which ultimately was a retirement from that race after running inside the top 10 in the early stages. Here are the results of the race then. Short it was, 9 laps completed in car 71 to win by 0.646 seconds. Second was number 1 Jordan Johnson, third number 9 Ian Tomlinson, Jake Mickelwright number 32 was 4th, Stephen Craggs 5th number 47, then David Williams 6th in 25, Michael Pearce 7th number 70, 8th was number 99 Martin Vernon, Richardson number 17 rounded out was 9th I should say, having come through from the back of the grid. And Matthew Short, after an eventful race, completed the top 10 in number 72 ahead of Andy Bailey, Shay Pearce, Samuel Cormer and Adrian Johnson. In 15th place was James Winstanley ahead of Nico Favreau, Mary Barnard, Stephen Robinson, Matt Hallam after his contact in the early stages of the race with Ian Tomlinson. Paul Barnard was 20th with Andrew Robertson, Philip Barrett, Stuart Dowson and Steve Quemby, the other finishers. 24 of the 26 starters making it home. So the cars are heading down the pit lane at the end of that 5 Club race. I'll say they're back out in just 2 weeks' time at Thruxton, and we look forward to seeing them there. But Tom Burpsworth will be ready in a moment down in the pit lane to have a word with our top 3 drivers. It's the same podium that we had in the races yesterday: Ben Short, Jordan Johnson and Ian Tomlinson, but a slightly different way of achieving that result. And we can head down to Tom now, where he's going to hear from those 3 drivers.
So once again, great action with this mixed up grid here in the Massimo Tyres 5 Club MX5 Cup. We're just going to try and grab triple race winner now, Ben Short. Ben, how was that one for you?
It was actually got really tricky towards the end. The reverse grid always throws up something a bit more interesting. So first couple of laps were really frantic, and I think we picked up a slow puncture or something on the front left. Just towards the end, it was a bit of a sitting duck, and I was watching the timer, just watching Jordan gain on me, trying to, and then you end up overdriving it. And but yeah, we'll have a look at it and find out exactly what happened. But yeah, sorry for Jordan for tapping him into through the long right-hander.
But yeah, it looked a bit squirrely going into Tower as well. So, but 3 wins out of 3 races this weekend. I mean, it couldn't really have gone much better.
No, not at all, not at all. And big thank you to the team, BS Motorsport. We've had a really good weekend. So I think we had 4 drivers in the top 10 for race 2. So it's been an absolutely fantastic weekend, literally perfect, yeah.
Great stuff. Thanks very much, Ben. We're going to move on very quickly to our second place, Jordan Johnson. Jordan, couldn't quite get there at the end, couldn't quite catch him. You were closing in, just ran out of time.
Yeah, did everything I could, worked my hardest, and then fried my tyres catching him. So, and I think he was in the same boat as me. His tyres looked like they were gone off as well. So, tried hard all weekend, close but no cigar, I suppose.
Well, 3 races, 3 second places, good points for the championship, though.
Yeah, it's a good start to the title defence. Hopefully, pick up some wins. First loser isn't the best, is it?
No, but like I say, good points for the championship all the way through, and you know, there's plenty of time for the rest of the year.
Yeah, definitely, and you have to be very consistent in this series. There's not a lot of, you know, Ben's going to be up the front all year. Hopefully, I'm going to be up the front all year. Ian. So yeah, every high score I can get has got to be got.
Every point counts.
Exactly that,
Great
yeah.
stuff. Thank you very much indeed. And we'll move on to Ian Tomlinson, who's had 3 races this weekend and 3 third places as well. You had to fight hard for that one, though.
Yeah, it was hard work, that one. I thought I'd lost it for a while because obviously I had an incident with Matt Hallam, I think it was. Yeah, and I thought I was on the inside. I thought that he'd seen me, and he kind of turned in. I turned him round and sort of tried to go around, and we hit again. So yeah, I hope he's all right and his car's all right. And then obviously I lost a load of places, had to battle through, but. Yeah, it was.
But got there in the end?
We got there in the end, yeah, just about.
Great stuff. All right, thanks very much, Ian. And good points for the championship as well. We will wrap up very quickly and move on to the Alfa Romeos coming next.